And what is so cute is Gloria's nickname is Glow, and she's talking about the Healthy Glow Stack. It just fits so great. Okay, so I'm going to tell you more about Gloria. Gloria started her career in occupational therapy, working in a subacute long-term and acute therapy. After 9 years, she was offered the position of Director of Rehab and Wellness at a covenant of retired Benediction sisters. She learned firsthand the positive effects of natural health, diet, emotional, and spiritual health in rehabilitation outcomes. After 5 years, Gloria felt compelled to continue her studies and is presently certified in natural health, massage, reflexology, healing touch, and in an NES and EBOX practitioner. She focuses on functional health, including educating others on how the body functions and how to support the body in doing its job, helping us to survive and thrive. She is my go-to for all information when it comes to the body. And she is such an amazing educator. She's going to make it very simple for you. And she is going to talk about our number one best-selling duo, which is the Healthy Glow Stack, which includes our flagship product, Protandim Nerve 2, and our new collagen, and how they're working and what she has seen in her practice. So Gloria, I cannot wait to hear from you. It's all yours.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tanya. And I do love educating. I don't always take so much time to do it. And so I just love it when Tanya invites me. A thumbs up, Tanya, that'd be great.
We got it, Gloria.
Got it? Okay, alrighty. So I want to explain to you a little bit about why, as a massage therapist, that I really, really love this Healthy Glow Stack. And so I have been in business for 17 years. I've been doing massage for 19 years. And prior to that, like Tanya had said, I was working for about 10 years in occupational therapy prior to that. So I receive a massage every other week. So twice a month, I go in for a massage to the same massage therapist. And so even like before I was going to her, I was on the Protandim, because I've been on Protandim now for about 6 years. And one time I ran out of Protandim NRF2 because I wanted to make sure that a client had them. So I gave them to them, and I wanted to make sure my husband had them. And I ran out of this. And this was probably like 2 years ago. And I went back in for my massage. And she had said too that it just seemed like I had such fibrous muscle tissue. And she said, "What are you doing? Are you doing anything different?" And I told her I ran out of my Protandim NRF2. She takes it as well. And she said, "Well, don't ever do that again," because she could tell it in my muscle tissue. And I'm going to get into why that feels so fibrous. That's what I want to explain to you today. The other thing is I started taking collagen about a year ago. And after I was on the collagen for about 6-8 weeks or something, then she asked me, "What are you doing?" Because she said, your skin and your muscles, it feels like butter. And she said, I can just get into the deeper muscles and it wasn't as painful. So lots of good things can be happening. So my own muscles, I know, feel better when I'm taking the Protandim NRF2 and the collagen. I take many of the other products as well, but we're just going to focus on those products for today. Then what I also personally notice is that when I have clients who come, because I have repeated clients who come in, and if initially when they come in and they'll have some aches or pains, things like that, that I have to work on. And then if I educate them, and if they choose to start on the Protandim NRF2, I can tell within 2 to 3 months that their muscle tissue is so different. And again, that's what I want to explain to you today. And then also the benefits of the collagen. So I can tell, and I can also tell when those clients stop taking it. If they stop taking it, because again, I have repeated clients. And so then that gives me a real measurable thing for me. The other thing that I've learned greatly, so if you have a massage therapist that you know, if you have friends, if you yourself are a massage therapist, I do believe from a business perspective that this allows me to continue to do my work. I don't know if I would be able to continue to do this at the amount of massages that I give, my age, many things, and I'm going to go through that a little bit as well. And then also during the COVID shutdown in, March to May or March till June or whatever of 2020, they shut everybody down. And so that was a great benefit for me to still have that $1,500 a month coming in to pay my bills, because if I don't work, I don't get paid. That's what happens when you have your own business. You don't work, you get paid. But that is very nice that I had shared it with enough people that at least I had a little bit of an income coming in during that time frame. Okay. So what I was thinking is like, okay, I'm going to go and do a little bit of research and look at the length of a massage therapist. And this is done by Dr. John Pedersen. He's a doctor of chiropractic care. And so what he said in regards to massage therapists, that the average career length for massage therapists is 13 years. Now you think about somebody who goes to school for registered therapy or goes to school for nursing or goes to school for whatever, when the expectation of your career on average is 13 years, that then you wonder why are they dropping out? Well, 8% of these massage therapists who graduate from accredited massage therapy schools drop out in the first 5 years of their profession. 50% of these massage therapists who are still working are working part-time. So when you really look at a full-time load for massage therapists, it's only 40% of those that are graduated that are actually doing their career full-time. So then he went on to study is like why. So the why behind a massage therapist stop doing massage therapy or not doing it full time, not really reaping the full benefits of all the money that they spent on education, is because of muscle pain, because of tendonitis, shoulder pain, low back pain, because it's a lot of stress on the body. Even for me, when I think about, how much muscle tissue we're pushing into muscle tissue, to relieve people's pain, muscles, tendons, ligaments, the feet, the shoulders, the neck, the low back, all those areas of the body. It's a lot of stress on our own body. And so that's why many times massage therapists are working part-time. Okay. And that's why many massage therapists also feel that they need probably another source of financial income. And all I can say is that LifeVantage really just kind of fits together right into it. So I was looking to research to say, okay, when a client comes to me, not specifically what diagnosis they have, but what is the underlying issue within the cells of the body to say, why are they experiencing this pain? And really, as I was thinking about it, now this is just me, another massage therapist might have a different opinion, but my thing is this lactic acid, uric acid, and lymphatic congestion. Those are the three main things that seem to be causing pain in a person's body. And whether that pain is in their feet, in their back, in their neck, wherever it is. But I want to go through those three things that are happening in the body and why it causes this pain within the body and why those clients seek out a massage therapist. So the first thing is lactic acid. And so lactic acid is actually the fuel for your cells during this intense exercise. And so what the body does is it's created when your body takes in glucose or other carbohydrates and converts that inside the cell into ATP. Okay, and so it converts it to have a great amount of energy for inside the cell. Now, it's because of unusual overuse of muscles. Now, most people would think it's like that picture on the upper right-hand side. They're playing soccer. That's the overuse of muscles. But please know, when people are sitting in front of a computer, hours after hours after hours, your structural muscles have to hold your head and your neck, and your head weighs like a bowling ball, kind of weighs a lot. And your head and your neck are weighing down on your body all day long. When you're intricately moving that mouse, your structural muscles have to hold the scapula. They have to hold the neck. Again, they have to hold the shoulder muscles. Also, when people are constantly using their wrists to click the mouse, to type, that is all overuse. Many times people will call it, in therapy, we call it repetitive stress injury, but really that's what it is. It's overusing the muscles of the body. A truck driver, people don't realize truck drivers think they just sit there, but the reality of it is they're holding their body still. But as they go across the bumps on the road, it's like they would be bouncing all day long, on a chair or something. That's very hard on the structural muscles of the body. So that's all overuse of muscles. And then that is what causes soreness. Okay. So what the body does is it tries to protect itself. And so it creates, if you have little microscopic damage in the muscle fibers, then the body will replace some of that microscopic damage to try to heal it or replace it with scar tissue. Much like the skin of your body, if you scrape or scratch yourself, it will replace it with a scab or a scar. Well, inside the body, the same thing does that. And so it creates some scar tissue, inflamed tissue within the muscle fibers. That creates some scar tissue. If that goes on for too long without those inflamed muscles getting some relief, or without those acids getting out of the body will harden it even further and it will become calcium deposits. And we all know that calcium deposits within the body, no matter where it is, gets diagnosed as arthritis. Okay, but that's the steps of how it actually works. Uric acid is a little bit different, okay? Uric acid is a natural waste product that comes from the digestion of foods that contain purines, okay? So purines are like proteins. So that's why they'll say red meats, organ meats, sardines, beer, none of those are bad for you. None of them are bad for you, okay? But when you have too many of those accumulated in the body, the other thing also that creates purines are formed when the natural processes of our cells are broken away. Our bodies are always taking out cellular debris and replacing it with new, taking it out and replacing it with new, okay? Well, if that process doesn't happen fast enough, then those dead cells become uric acid as well inside the bloodstream, okay? And so normally your body is supposed to filter these things out, but when there's accumulated too much through either poor digestion or not having enough antioxidants to neutralize those acids and pull them out of the body, you get way too much in there. And the body, for whatever reason, will store this uric acid in the joints. And then though that uric acid stored in the joint, many of them recall that as a condition of gout. If anybody's had gout, extremely, extremely painful inside the joint. Rheumatoid arthritis, gout arthritis, those are three things that they actually test the blood for high uric acid levels. The other things that uric acid can also accumulate in the kidneys and cause kidney stones. Okay. And so, but it's acid crystals that are inside the body. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about inside the joint. When you have acid crystals inside your joint, and that's where the body will put that uric acid stored in there. Then as you move your joint, it starts to scrape on the inside of the joint, starts to wear away on the cartilage, starts to wear away on some of those tendons and ligaments, really, really inflame that joint. But what it really does is compromises the skin tissue that is inside the joint around the bursa, which is, so when people have bursitis, all those kinds of things, that's what can become inflamed inside the joint. So there's two different main acids, like I said, in the body, okay? Now, once again, both lactic acid and uric acid are natural processes within the body. So we will never have a zero amount of them in the body because it means our body's alive and our body's trying to heal itself. But lactic acid, of course, that normal process of exercise, it actually helps you to build stronger muscles, stronger bones, converts carbohydrates into energy. But when there's too much of it in the body, we get stiff and sore, inflamed, scar tissue lays down, and the potential of calcium deposits being laid down. Same thing with uric acid. It's the normal breakdown of proteins. It's the normal healing processes within the body. And is our body actually getting rid of damaged cellular debris that it's trying to get out? But once again, when we have too much of it, then the body starts to store it inside the joints, and then we have joint inflammation. Okay, the best thing that we have is the gift of glutathione, okay, because glutathione is shown to both with uric acid and lactic acid to go into the cells of the body, neutralize those acids, and help to pull them out of the body. And glutathione, I know that NRF2 does many, many things, but when we're specifically talking about muscles and joints, that glutathione is the greatest gift that we can give our bodies to really be helping with that. So on the right-hand side there, it says 7 different things. It reduces that oxidative stress, promotes a balance of that inflammatory response, meaning that the inflammation doesn't get so bad that it creates scar tissue and then eventually creates calcium deposits. That's why it impacts the cellular damage, encourages healthy aging, supports that detoxification because it's neutralizing those acids, attaching to it and helping to pull it out of the body. Okay, it protects us from those environmental toxins, and then also impacts athletic performance because, of course, if we can recover faster, then people can perform better in their athletics. Okay, so from a massage therapist standpoint, it also makes muscles less sore, deters that scar tissue and those calcium deposits from forming. Okay, so it really is the main thing. We know that NRF2 does that. It turns on that NRF2 pathway that's responsible for that glutathione antioxidant production. It's made of milk thistle, bacopa, ashwagandha, green tea, turmeric extract, very low doses of things. Dr. Joe McCord was very wise when he formulated this. Those are 5 herbs that are extremely safe, have been using for centuries and centuries and centuries. They're putting very low doses, but the combination of it, if you look at bullet number 4 there, increases glutathione in the body by 300%. That is why I think, because it increases that dramatic amount, that is why I can really tell within a month or two that people are taking Protandim. I can feel it in their muscle tissue when I go to give them a massage. It's a fabulous thing. Okay. So what I like to think of it is that it actually has less paintbrush like fibers in there. So if you ever take a paintbrush and lay it on a table or something like that and rub your hand across it, as a massage therapist, that's what we feel when muscle fibers are starting to harden. Okay, so think about taking a pretty, good sized paintbrush that you'd use to maybe paint an outside building or something, lay it on the table and rub your hand across it. Okay, that is what muscle fibers feel like underneath the skin of the body when they start to get hardened scar tissue or calcium deposits within there. So what I notice is that people have overall less of that fibrous tissue going across those fiber bundles within there. Okay. These are two other pictures as well. Okay. Now, when you look across in that circle one, they will say a stretched muscle fiber. Do you see where it says a contracted knot? When people say there's a knot in my muscle, that's exactly what it is. And that's why when you push on it, look how inflamed that is. It's full of acids. And then that is when people are like, oh, it hurts there, push there, or stop pushing there, whatever it may be, just because, but that's what causes the pain. But that's what I refer to when I say about the less fibrous tissue or those brush-like fibers. And the fibers will go all the way from a thinner fiber to a thicker fiber to a thicker fiber, and then also to have those knots in the muscle as well. But as massage therapists, that's what we can feel when we feel hardened tissue, or like I said, it feels like you're going across a paintbrush in there, okay? Lymphatic congestion is the other thing. We all know that fluid trapped in the tissue is extremely sore. That's when we fracture, when we sprain an ankle, and we have all that swelling in there. It's very painful to move that joint because all of that fluid takes up space inside the tissue, in the joint, and in the extracellular tissue as well. Okay, so that extracellular fluid is trapped in that tissue. It causes pain even with a light massage. I have some people that I try to massage their legs, the back of their arms, their neck, and I'm not even to the muscle tissue yet. And they're like, oh, that's deep enough. Oh, that's sore. That's sore. It's because they have lymphatic congestion. If you look at the neck of that person on the upper right-hand side, and I know that many people see great neck results when they start taking the collagen. I really believe it's because the collagen is helping with that lymphatic stagnation rather than really firming up the neck skin tissue yet. You know what I mean? Because they're getting really good results with it, but a lot of times it's reducing that congestion that's in the lymphatic system in and around the neck, because we have a lot of lymph nodes and lymphatic vessels in our head and our neck. Okay. But this will cause pain. And especially when people talk about when they first stand up from a chair or they first get up in the morning out of their bed and they say, oh my gosh, I'm so stiff at first. And then as I'm walking around, what you're doing is you're heating up the fluids of the body, and then the lymphatic system is working better. So if you know of somebody who says, I'm stiff and sore getting up, once I get walking, then I'm fine, that's clearly lymphatic stagnation. Okay, because the muscle wouldn't stop hurting like that. Or if they've got those acids in there or gout, things like that wouldn't stop hurting like that. But when somebody gets moving and then they say, then they're fine, that's clearly lymphatic congestion. Okay. It can be very painful, though, very painful with light touch. Most people, I mean, a dramatic result, dramatic look of it would be that picture on the upper right-hand side, where you will see people who might not move around a lot, if they have edema in their feet, and it's actually pitting edema, where you can push on it and your fingerprint remains in that skin. And so that's a lot of lymphatic congestion in there as well. So I just want to look a little bit at the lymphatic system itself. So the lymphatic system is the helper to the circulatory system, meaning that your digestive system puts the nutrition into the bloodstream, your lungs put oxygen into the blood, and your heart pumps all of that blood around. When it gets to the capillaries, so in that little circle diagram there, it shows the red blood cells coming in, or the red blood coming in, mean that it's oxygenated. Then you see all those little particles going through the capillary up there, and then the deoxygenated blood goes into the vein and then back up to the lungs to get reoxygenated again. But in all of those little tissues and all that little capillaries inside there, all of the oxygen leaves and all the nutrients and things like that leave to feed whichever tissue, organ, or gland that's in there. And then it's the lymphatic system's job to pick that all up, all that cellular debris, once it's all used up, and even some of the cells that are dying off. It's the lymphatic system's job to pick that up and bring it back up to the superior vena cava and then into the liver to help it to get cleansed out of the body, any of that debris or things that have to get dumped into the colon and then to be excreted. But anytime there's extracellular fluid, it is not the heart and the blood system problem. It is the lymphatic system problem. And that's what this is showing on here. Okay. So the next slide here, these are in the lymphatic system. These are one-way valves. And that is why the collagen is so vital to the lymphatic system. Okay. Because as you look in that green picture there in the center, it shows that the valve is opening and the fluid is going up. In the next little compartment, the valve is supposed to close so the fluid doesn't backflow. That's like any valve that you have. You don't want anything to backflow. Well, when we don't have good skin integrity in the valve of the lymphatic system, the fluid backflows. And then that's why people get edema in the bottoms of their feet, or the lymph in the neck, it's not moving properly out, because the lymphatic vessels, if they're full of acids, they'll be more sluggish. But then the other thing too is that if those valves are not efficiently closing, then some of that fluid backflows and it backflows and it backflows. And then that's usually why people will get edema in their legs and edema in their feet. Okay. And so we do even have she could tell a great story where she actually had to use a compression stocking on her leg. I think she said for like 17 years. It was after ovarian cancer. They removed some of her lymph nodes, so then the fluid couldn't efficiently flow back up again. And then many times you can damage some of those lymph nodes and those lymph vessels as well. And after she was already on the Nerve 2 for a number of years, but after she added the collagen, after 6 months of being off on the collagen, she no longer is wearing that compression stocking. That is like huge, but it's because of this. We need to repair the skin tissue of the lymphatic vessels so that the valves can completely close and the fluid doesn't backflow and pool into the tissues. Okay. So the valve, those little flaps of the valves of the lymphatic system are made of skin tissue, and they're single layered skin tissue. Okay. And what holds all of those skin cells together is the collagen. And so the tighter that we can and healthier that we can have the skin tissue in the lining of the lymphatic vessels, the more smoothly that those valves can open and close. But if we have rough edges on the skin tissue, if the skin inside those valves are dried out or anything like that, they don't efficiently close. And then that's when the pooling can happen in the lymphatic system. So collagen is really needed, and it's the glue that holds those cells together. We know that collagen is a protein produced within our body. We can offer the body some collagen, but we also need to make some collagen within there. Okay. And so it keeps our skin plump and smooth. And that's what we want in those vessels, or inside those lymphatic vessels and those valves. We need them to be smooth so they fit together properly, so they can close up the valves. We don't get the backflow of that extracellular fluid backing up into the tissues of the body. Okay. And of course, an increased amount of the toxins, air, food, and water, that as well is what can wear away on our skin tissue. So when you think about collagen, I want you to remember that we are just a bunch of billions and billions and billions of cells. And the things that hold all of our cells together is collagen. There's 28 or more, 28 that they've discovered, but or more different types of collagen within the body. And they range everywhere from like a super glue collagen that holds our bone cells together. So if you can imagine just powdered calcium and magnesium and all those things that make up the bones, but it's the collagen that holds all those bone cells together like super glue. And then it ranges all the way from collagen that holds our skin cells together, which is more like rubber cement. And there's every type of collagen in between there, depending on what collagen is required in that tissue, organ, or gland or system within our body. Okay. But remember that humans have over 28 kinds. It's important for us to get as many different types of collagen in the body as possible. Now, True Science contains 10 different types of collagen. And that is when I have, I've been in business for 17 years, been doing massage for 19 plus years. But that is why I think that this collagen impacts the body more than any other collagen that I've seen. And I was selling other types of collagen, very, very good, high quality collagen. But many of them had one type of collagen, maybe 3 types of collagen, maybe 5. But this liquid collagen that's hydrolyzed, it's so absorbent, it gets into the body and offers the body 10 different types of collagen. And when I looked at it, specifically, one of these collagens actually is the collagen that lines the lymphatic vessels. Okay, no other collagen has that. Okay, the one in the orange or the pink colored there is what almost all other types of collagen has. So LifeVantage really is offering the body 8 other types of collagen that most other types of collagen don't offer the body at all, because they usually just offer the top 4. And maybe 1 or 2, but mostly just the top 4. Within there's what's in other types of collagen. But these are the different types of collagens that True Science LifeVantage collagen has. And that's why I think it can impact so many different systems and organs and glands within the body. Okay, so here's a study that was done, is that it increased that collagen density. Okay, so that means that there's more collagen in there holding those lymphatic valves, the skin of the lymphatic valves together. Okay, increases moisture. In order, we can't have dried out skin valves either. We need to have good moisturized so that they can actually be plump enough to close the valve completely, so then that backflow doesn't happen. The smoothness as well. 2 valves, skin valves will come together, and if they're smooth, they're gonna hold together better as well. Okay. It says it increases that activation of SOD by 27 times. Very, very good to get those acids out and off of the skin tissue as well. And then it upgrades or upregulates the epidermal barrier structures to help the skin strengthen resilience. And then in the last one, it says it downregulates that activity or those enzymes that are responsible for damaging collagen. So this is why it really is a win-win for many people and can really make a huge impact in the cells of the body. So this is a great duo together. It really helps with those muscles and tendons and joints in the lymphatic system. And when you have less pain, you have more function. That's when I work with the elderly population as well. If they wouldn't have pain, they'd be outside walking. They'd be in their garden. They'd be going to weddings and family functions and out to dinner. They're out there doing that if they don't have all that pain. And so this is a fabulous duo. Okay. Now, from a massage therapist standpoint, when people use the NRF2, I can feel that their fibers are less paint-like. Those paint-like or paintbrush-like fibers are less in the body. When they add collagen into it, it seems like the muscle is more relaxed, it's more hydrated. And when I'm giving the massage, because the lymph is moving those extracellular fluids out, people will tend to have less pain when I'm giving them their massage. And then I can also get into the deeper structural muscles of the body. Now, if you look, this is a muscle fiber on the left and on the right. It's the same exact thing that's in there. One is relaxed and well hydrated, and the other one isn't, and it's contracted up and it's dehydrated. Now, as a massage therapist, look at how thick that contracted one is. And we're trying to push through those muscle fibers to get into the deeper structural fibers of the body, where most people have issues with the structural muscles, but many times the superficial muscles are so inflamed, full of acids, and not very well hydrated that we can't get deep into the structural muscles of the body. Okay, now if you look, this is somebody's back. Okay, many times I need to get into that levator scapula muscle, which is in the 3rd layer of muscles. Do you see that? So you have your trap, then you got your rhomboids, then you got your levator scapula muscle. Many times that's where people who are secretaries, people who are truck drivers, people who are using a mouse a lot, working on a computer a lot, holding their upper body pretty static and pretty still, but they just have to move a little bit. That levator scapula muscle is the one that's inflamed. Now, can you see if I need to push through the trap and the trap is thick and inflamed, I need to push through that rhomboid, thick and inflamed, before I can help to relieve the stress in that levator scapula muscle? Can you see when you are taking NRF2 and you are taking collagen, how much easier it is on your massage therapist to help you? It just makes it so much easier for us to help you and to get to those deeper fibers in the muscles of the body. Okay. And otherwise, we're still just trying to relieve the inflammation and things like that in the layer number 1, where we actually are trying to get to layer number 3 in order to help you. Okay. This one is also the muscles of the hip and the low back. Same thing. We're trying to get to some of the piriformis muscles. Do you see in that very first one, the piriformis muscle is on the left-hand side, okay? But the glute, the gluteus maximus and medius are covering up that piriformis muscle. The piriformis muscle is where the sciatic nerve runs through. We're trying to get to that to relieve the tension in there so it's quit squeezing on the sciatic nerve. But we have to work through all of that. But if you can keep your muscles healthier with the NRF2 and the collagen, we can do our job much more effective for you and help you out a lot better. Okay, so we need to get into the deeper. Okay, so I'm replaying this one again, and as you see where he said 8% of massage therapists kind of drop out just in the first 5 years because it's so hard on your body. 50% work part-time. Average massage therapist 40 years old. And so what I will have to say is, in my business here, I've been in here for 17 years and I am 56 years old and I work 10 to 12-hour days, Monday through Thursday. And I could keep doing it, but what I will tell you, I would not be able to keep doing it if I wouldn't be doing the Protandim and the collagen. I wouldn't be able to do it. I know that because I've stopped it and I'm very, very sore after doing a full day of work. You know, and then the why again. Okay. So I really believe that LifeVantage really does resolve these issues. Okay. They keep the massage therapist healthier. Okay. The clients, when you as a client come in and you're on these products, we can do more work. We can help you out more because we really, really need to get to those deeper structural muscles, tendons, and ligaments within the body. Okay. It's of course more fulfilling. I feel like I help more people. And then they actually, from a business perspective, I get more referrals to help even more people within that. Okay. And so from a business perspective, if you have any massage therapists as friends or families or whatever, please just share this with them because, you know, if something would happen to my hands or something would happen to my shoulders or whatever, that I can still be helping people with their tendons, muscles, ligaments, their tissues of their body with the LifeVantage. And so it gives the ones that can only tolerate working part-time, it really does, as a massage therapist, give them that second source of income. And it just fits right into what we do because it's just resolving all of the issues that they have in their muscle tissues. Okay. And then once again, it really did save me during that COVID shutdown time, which I was not expecting, but life is full of unexpected things. And so we can always be prepared for that. And I think LifeVantage does really offer that. Okay. So that's all I have, Tanya. And so I can stop the screen share and then just see if anybody, has any questions or anything like that. So.
Gloria, I can't even tell you, like, I just feel it is such a gift for us, right? As we get older, it's one thing to be told that you should do something, but it's a completely other thing when someone actually shows you why. And that's what you do. Like, you not only tell us why our products and taking care of our body matters, you show us visually why it matters and exactly what doctors and other people are trying to obtain and how they can better it through our products by us feeding our bodies. And that word functional, like, absolutely. Don't we all just want to have functional, mobile bodies as we age? That is the goal. That is life. Gloria, yes. I want you to teach on everything. So, I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, just start making those presentations, sister, because this was phenomenal. And it built my belief. I mean, I can't wait to share this with the masses. So I'm just so grateful that you did this. I hope you keep doing them.
You
You
just have to keep
are,
freaking out when I make time for it.
I know you are a gift, and you need to remember that. Like, you need to stop holding it in your head, and you need to let it come out of your mouth more, because it's such a gift. So thank you so much for doing this today. We will get the recording out as soon as we can, but please know that it will always be here in Vitality Living. We'll put it under the hashtag What the Health, and also have Gloria's name assigned to it as well. So thank you so much. Everyone have a wonderful weekend.
Yes, very good. Take
Thanks,
care.
Gloria.
Thank you.